Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Rich Holland from Slo-Pitch for Autism. Welcome to Off the Diamond. This is a weekly show we're putting together to talk about different personalities from around the Slo-Pitch or autism world. For today's guest, we have umpire extraordinaire, Mr. Ray Anderson with us. How you doing, Ray?
Hey Rich, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How's things been during shutdown for you?
Well, it's been weird for me. I have a weird life that I need to stand in front of people, not just on a diamond. And so one of the one things that I can't do is stand in front of people. So yeah.
You know, I saw a study there a few weeks ago about how this is affecting everybody. It says introverts, basically no effect. Extroverts, almost 50% increase in mental health issues.
Yeah, I'm a trained extrovert. So I'll explain that. A lot of people don't understand. So an extrovert isn't just somebody that has to be around people, to recharge. And a lot of, introvert, extrovert is somebody that's loud versus somebody that's quiet, but that's not really the only parameters. It's also how you recharge. And because my regular job is I work in front of people all the time, when I'm not working around people, I need to recharge away from people. And so I'm okay being alone. I'm good with being alone. Being alone is not being lonely. Being alone is just being alone for me. It's actually my happy place. So.
You know what? I get that because I'm the same way. I mean, I love being in front of the crowds and stuff, but I need my time to myself too. So yeah. What have you been doing to fill your time then?
I've been working out a lot. I've been running. I was out in BC running a theater that had no shows. So we did a bunch of stuff. And then I came back here, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, that's really working out, trying to be healthier, trying to be smarter, taking some downtime, which is very difficult for me because normally I'm on the road. Right.
Well, you know what? I guess if there's any good thing that's come from this, it's given us the time to do those things that we never really got around to before, right?
Yeah. How are you doing? What do you do?
You know what? It's a struggle. I mean, without tournaments happening, I mean, it's just, we've got new products coming in and stuff, and we've got these interviews that we're doing and things like that, but waiting to get the tournaments happening. I mean, it looks like we're going to get a couple out in British Columbia. It looks like we'll get something down on the East Coast, but here in Ontario where we're located, I just don't know if it's going to happen. I'm hoping. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, let's talk some ball anyway.
All right, let's do it.
You do a lot of umpiring for us. I mean, the first obvious question from our point of view is why SBFA?
You guys do a lot of tournaments and make money. That's the number one. You know what is? Listen, any charity is a worthy cause. It's the reason they get charity status. But some charities you don't get to see the products of it. With SBFA, you do. So you're not just giving to families. You're seeing those families come out to your tournaments, that they represent, that they bring a team, that they put, the people that you're fighting for and giving to, you're seeing them on the diamond. So it's not, hey, we're going to give you money and it's just going to disappear. It's that you're seeing money. And when you go out to the tournaments year in after year in after year in, you see those same lives get affected and you see the person that's being affected.
Right.
So that's a positive experience where other charities don't have that same abilities.
Right. What about autism itself while you've been doing the tournaments? Have you learned anything about autism?
Yeah, I mean, I know your spiel, and I mean, I've worked with other charities that deal with autism before, and unfortunately, sometimes when people say autism puts you in a very rigid space, but autism isn't the same as I have a cold, I don't have a cold. It's a wide range, and with countless of different people with different motives. Not motives is not the right word, but countless of different experiences in life. It's as different as somebody that's a 5-year-old kid and a 30-year-old kid weight-wise. You can have a 5-year-old kid that's 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, and an adult that's from 150 to 300. I mean, or more. Hopefully not. But it's not as simple as everybody weighs the same. Everybody, if you have autism, this is how you are, and this is all. There's functionalities, but the degrees are varied and the personalities are varied, and just like every other person on the planet, we are all just people with different traits. An autism kid is just an autism kid, like I am just a ginger. Doesn't I don't have dark hair, I have red hair. So I don't do well in the sun, ironically, and that's one of my situations that I face every day, where they have other situations that they have to face because of their genetics.
Yeah, it's funny, way back when I started doing this, I did an interview with somebody that ran an autism charity locally to where I am. And he said this thing that always stuck with me. He says, if you know one person with autism, you know one person with autism. Basically saying exactly what you just said. Everybody is so different that just because you know one person doesn't mean the next one's going to be similar. Yeah,
it's the same as saying one ump, the same as one doctor. Everybody is different. Everybody has their traits and stuff. So
there's umpires that are different, you're saying?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Well,
there's ball players that are different. Then. What would you? Everybody's different.
When you've been umpiring, have you ever reached the point where you just want to walk away?
I don't, and so the reason being, I try not to take it personally.
Yeah.
So I work really hard, like aggressively hard, at trying to know the rules. That doesn't mean that I'm always going to be perfect. That doesn't mean that I'm always going to get every rule correctly all the time, because I'm one guy watching 18 positions, plus pitching, plus catching, plus people in the bleachers, plus the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So I am one guy watching a lot of stuff. Now, because of the amount that I ump, I'm able to understand how to play. I'm also a ball player, so I understand the play of the game. If the ball comes in and you're standing in this position and you swing like this, every time you come up, I know how you're going to put the ball typically, where you're going to put the ball. I mean, you get that. And so it minimizes my stress level of trying to watch everything, because I understand the game. But I want to be the ump that if you were coming out to my game, I would be really happy with you. And I also try and make it fun and entertaining. Slo-Pitch for Autism is different than most tournaments, because it's not about the money that the team may make at the end of it, because they get t-shirts. It's about creating an environment which will help some of the players that they see on that field that day, or players that they will see in future games, or lives that will come out and be a part of that tournament, just to be aware. And so it's, if I went in and approached it as like, me doing worlds at NSA, and umping with those strict guidelines and not making it fun and just being just rigid, it would be very, very different. The experience wouldn't be as great for the players. It wouldn't be, and you will always, it doesn't matter what's going on. There will always be players that just want to win at all costs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is your purpose? And so I want the games to move along. I want, the day to be fun. I want people to have a good time. But yeah.
So what's the furthest anybody's ever gone to try and get you to overturn a call?
Well, the best part of that is anybody that knows me knows that I'm typically not going to just go, oh, you know what, you're right. Somebody who is completely unbiased on the game, who really doesn't care who wins or loses. Like, I really don't care. I don't care in any capacity. And so the reason I care about people, I don't care about who wins or loses ultimately. And the reason I'm able to do that is that I can make the same call for your team or the other team. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to try and make the right call. And if you disagree with my knowledge of it, okay, then show me a rule. Show me the rule that's different. Show me the path, the right rule. And I'll at that point, I'll go, hey, you're right. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. But somebody's screaming at me and saying, well, you're wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, that's your opinion. So I really, and I've been on the diamond with a lot of umps, and I've seen the umps that, somebody yells at them or they're not paying attention and they'll overturn the call. But I don't do that. Very rarely, unless you can prove it to me right there with a rule book, or I'll look it up, I don't typically change.
And I mean, they can't pull a rule book either, right? So
no, but if they did, listen. If somebody comes up and says, "Hey, I believe this is the rule," I'll look it up. I'll pull my phone up. I'll pull my rule book up. You know what I'm like.
Yeah.
I have conversations. I want to make sure that the rules that I'm doing are the right rules every time.
You know what? And ultimately, in the end, I mean, you get it right as much as you possibly can, right?
Yeah.
So when you're doing these, I mean, you've obviously done a lot of them. We got a real shortage of umpires in the game right across the board.
Yeah.
I think every organization is going through that. And trying to get new umpires to the game can be difficult because, I mean, obviously an umpire's got to have some thick skin. I mean, for the new guys coming in, what would be the number one thing you'd say to them?
Understand the rules. And don't make it all about the rules.
Right.
And know that we're human. In Major League Baseball, they have the umps that are there, as well as cameras to replay, to check everything, to make sure that that's the right call. We don't have that. We're one person on a field and playing a game. There are people that come out to your tournaments that may play ball once a year. And so as, if I ump on a higher level, then, and I'm not saying yours is low, but it's a different type of tournament.
Yeah, I understand.
But if I'm umping at premium ball, and you know that I do, they have a certain expectation, and most of the players know the rules as much as I do. At your level, you have teams that families have put together that may have played ball 25 years ago, but the cause is more important than the game. And when I see somebody at your tournaments that that start changing that parameter, that they think that their play or their game is more important than the cause, then that's when they have the most opportunity to be getting kicked out of the game. I don't like kicking people out of the game. I try and find ways that they can figure out that, life is good. We're here to have fun. And if I can make it light and still create the rules and still move the game along and in the time and everybody has a great day, then that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Right. I've seen you ump on the diamond a lot, and I know that you like to interact with the teams and the players and stuff. I've occasionally seen umpires do that too, though, where it'll irk one team because they feel the umpire may know and therefore favor the other team. I mean, how do you find the balance in that?
So I've done that. I've had teams where I've seen a lot of your tournaments, and they come out and they every tournament they come out to support the cause and make the cause better. And then I have also seen and the other team that they don't know me or they don't know me that well. I've umped a lot, so not just in your tournaments, but everywhere. And so a lot of people know my umping style. I will always say this, and I've had it, and I've had it at your events where they go, I think you're favoritism. I'm like, well, I'm actually probably harder on the team than I know, like aggressively, because they know that I have a standard, and They know that if they're coming out to a lot of tournaments, they probably know the rules. They're probably better ball players, especially getting into the A side of the leagues. So I probably give the teams that I know, I'm probably give them less slack. And a lot of times you'll see other umps on the diamond, and I may know them. And so they have put me at a standard. And if I don't make the call, they're going to be very upset with me.
Right.
So I think that's really, I don't know if that helps you answer the question, but my balance is still really not balanced. If I know you, you're probably going to be held if I know that you know the game and you're a good player, I know I'm going to hold you at a little bit higher standard.
Right.
You know.
So when you've done like all levels, you've done ours, you've done the higher level, you've done probably everything in between. What's some of the best things that you've seen on the diamond or favorite experiences?
I love great plays. I love plays that sometimes these players they have made but only played once a year, and they have made an extraordinary play that they in their right mind, they just never thought they could imagine. And so I like that. I like watching teams promote other teams, like the respect. The respect, everybody says the respect of the game, but it really is the respect of the game. Mm-hmm. This is a game that we as kids, we started playing when we were kids. A lot of us, some of us older, but it's a great pastime. And so why have somebody that's a bad apple come out and just make it horrible for everybody? And I know it gets hot. I know there's going to be alcohol involved. I know that there's going to be that's life. I mean, it's grown adults going out and trying to have a good time on their weekend with creating money for, helping create a bankroll for worthy causes or for our worthy cause. And then you'll get those that just, the mix doesn't work well. The heat, the alcohol, the nature of the sport, and they don't know how to handle it. And those are the people that create the problem in the game.
Right. So funniest thing you've ever seen on the diamond?
Oh. So there's a team. I'll preface this statement before I say this. Before the start of every game, when we're ready to play, I always say, good luck, no nudity. That's my line. All it does is decompress the craziness of the team, the dynamics of the team getting ready to play ball. Just, hey, we're going to relax. It's going to be a good game. This guy is probably a little funny. And I said, no nudity. And there's a team that, like, all they want to do is wear the least amount of clothes. It's like, Ray, every time you say that, we want to take more clothes off. And I'm like, no, I prefer that you don't. But that has been, I'm not saying the team, I'm not going to say anything, but that is that's probably the team that I walked away going, did not expect that.
One more baseball question, and then we're going to get on to a couple other things real quickly. You're a player also.
Yep.
Ultimately, if you could play anywhere, where would you like to play?
On the diamond or globally? Globally. You know what? Doesn't really matter. A game is a game, right? So the game isn't always about the place you're at. It's the experience you're having while you're there. From playing in dome ball to playing on some fields to playing in a cow pasture, I guess it's about who you're hanging out with and that you're having fun. And isn't that, I live my life in 3 rules: have fun, be kind, live in the moment. And living in the moment, having fun is often really what the nature of your tournament is.
Well said, man. Well said. So
also, actually, your tournament does all three: is have fun, be kind, live in the moment. Have fun, which is, you've created a conduit to raise money for those in need. That is fun. 2, to be kind. You're being kind and understanding those with autism, and 3, to live in the moment and, you know, be in that moment where you have to play ball and you have to be aware of the game. You're not typically thinking about what you're doing tomorrow when you're on the field. So my 3 rules kind of sum up everything that your tournament is.
Perfect. You know what? That's a great way to end off talking about ball. So coming up, just real quickly, you know, what's the future look like for Ray Anderson?
That I don't know. Literally have no clue. This is the first time in my life that I have no plans or no directions, because COVID has ball punched us at a level that, well, and especially me, because my normal job is I work in front of crowds. And the one thing I can't do right now is be in front of crowds. So I have literally no clue. I have no clue.
Hey, it's an open road for you, buddy.
Wow.
Get back on the bike and go.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different experience.
It really is. All right, well, you know what? We're going to end off with something fun. I got 10 rapid fire questions for you. First thing that comes to your mind.
Yep.
Ready?
So pause for a second. This could be bad because my brain is not the way everybody else's is.
That's quite all right. We're going to get some good compilation videos of these eventually. All right. What's your favorite holiday?
Saturday.
What makes you laugh?
Oddities. But most people that know me know that I don't. I have a poker face, and somebody said you should have all the faces of Ray, which would be really just the same face all the time.
Favorite ball player?
Favorite ball player? Probably Donaldson.
Okay. How do you start your day?
Opening my eyes.
What kind of toilet paper did you hoard?
None.
Good for you.
None.
If you were 14 again, what would you most want to do with your life?
Oh. What would I? That is, you know what? I've thought about that question a lot, actually. I've been very fortunate in my life. I could have made far more money doing many other things, but the experience that I've had because of the path that I've chosen has met people like yourself that have far outweighed the financial rewards that I could have had doing other stuff.
Nice. City or country?
Both. I think life's about balance.
Dogs or cats?
Always dogs. Cats kill me. I have this thing called allergies that I stopped breathing, and I really like breathing. Yeah,
that's important. Favorite celebrity?
Me.
Oceans or mountains?
Oh, again, both. Both have. I've spent a lot of time in the Rockies, and I've also, spent a bunch of time looking at oceans, and both have their allure. I've spent more time in the oceans than on the mountains, but that's not always. I would like to spend as much time on the mountains as well. So.
For sure. All right. Well, that wraps it up. Thanks a lot for doing this, Ray. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, my friend. Be well.
So, guys, thanks again for joining us on Off the Diamond. If there's anything that you would like to see discussed or anyone that you would like us to speak with, please comment below. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to see more. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much. Have a great one.